Hello again. I decided to make another video because if you remember, if you've seen the other videos, I had mentioned that I wanted to redo the wiring for my overhead panel because I was using individual wires going to the Arduino instead of like using multiplexers like I started doing later. So what I wanted to do for this section here, this is the one that I'm referring to right now. I wanted to take it from this because this is what my Arduino looked like before I did what I am about to show you here. So as you can see, most of my inputs were already taken up. Um, all these right here that are analog, the ones that start with an A, I believe you can also use them for digital inputs, but I have never tried it, so I can't say for sure. But basically I was running out of inputs already. I think I didn't really have any more left. So this is the way it originally looked from behind. Every single wire, was going directly to the Arduino. So all this bundle, the whole thing, was taking up pins on my Arduino. That's the reason why I was running out of inputs already. So these are all the wires that I took off of the Arduino right here, and I started rewiring them using multiplexers. So I used two because there was a total of 28 wires, so I used two of them. I pretty much took about half the inputs and put them on one and went directly to the multiplexer like I'm showing here, and then I took the other half and I put them on another multiplexer. I still have one pin left on this one, and I believe I had 4 left on the previous one right here. Yeah, right here. So if I want to add something later on, I could still add them on there. So basically this is what it looked like after I finished redoing this with multiplexers. And the only thing that I'm gonna have now going to the Arduino is, well, actually just the gray wire right here, this one and this one over here on this side, because these color wires that are inside of the brown wire here in the sleeve, they're going to go to my distribution hub only for the bus. So the only 2 wires that are going to the Arduino now to connect all these buttons and switches are going to be the 2 gray ones. So I'm going to go from using 28 inputs on the Arduino to only using 2, which is, a lot of extra inputs that I have available now. So remember, this is what it looked like before I did this, and this is what it looks like now. So you can see I regained all these inputs right here, pretty much from 32 all the way from 32 all the way up to 53 I regained again. So this is what my distribution center looks like right now. I'm using this white block up on top here for the negative and positive rails. So most of the other the multiplexers that I had already connected, I'm just using this to distribute the positive and the negative signals going to each multiplexer. And then I added this one just now because I had already run out of room in my little brown one here. I already have I believe 5 or 6 multiplexers connected, so I ran out of room, so I just made an extension board to continue adding more here. And I am using the bottom half of it right here where the red and black is also to distribute negative and positive signals, the voltage and the negative, the ground. So this is a closer look. It's not that clear, but it's a closer look at the distribution hub right there for the bus. So now the entire mess is out here. It's not on the Arduino, which is great. So that's pretty much it for those pictures. What I did want to show you guys also is if we go to the SimVim website and we go to the configurator, I'm gonna load the configurator that I had originally. I'm sorry, the data file that I had originally before I made these changes, and you can see that most of my inputs were already taken up right here. So it was beginning to get to the point where I had to start figuring out what to do if I want to keep adding things to it. But like I said before, I just found out that I believe you can use all of these to pretty much hook up almost anything except except LCD displays, 7 segment displays and LED drivers and pulse, pulse width modulation drivers. So you can still use them. You don't have to use them for analog, but if you do want to use potentiometers, this is the ones you're going to have to use. And you can also put analog multiplexers onto all of these. So on each one of these you can use 16 potentiometers if you use the multiplexers. So remember, this is what it looked like before, with all my inputs and everything. And then I'm going to show you now what it looks like now with the new setup that I did. Let me see. So this is what it looks like now. So obviously you can see it's a lot cleaner. All my inputs are on inside of multiplexers here on the first number 2 through number 10. So I moved all the wires on the Arduino too. So now if I look inside each one of these, you can see what inputs I have assigned on each one of these multiplexer boards. And I still have a few empty ones here too, so that I can add more inputs to them. But some of them are completely taken up with inputs already. Alright, so, and my data file, I mean, you really can't tell anything because the data files are just they're gonna show every single input and output that you have, so they're either way is gonna look about the same. But this is what it looks like now after I switched everything over to multiplexers pretty much. And way at the bottom here we have the outputs that I have for the parking brake annunciator lights, the master caution, the master warning, fire lights. I have something for when the auto throttle and autopilot are disconnected. And then I have one little 7-segment display, which is this N30 right here with the transponder code. That's the only display that I have right now. But either way, that's what I wanted to show you guys, just to show you that pretty much that you can gain so much more, you know, by going to multiplexers rather than doing everything directly to the Arduino the way I did it. But like I've said before, I'm just learning right now. I'm still trying to figure all this out. I haven't even gotten to the more complicated you know, like making actual gauges with servo motors or stepper motors, but I hopefully someday will get into that too. But right now I'm just doing what I can do, what works for me, and I'll just keep learning as I go. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Later.